Yo, what's happening? This is Late Night CJ, and we back at it once again. Sorry for the hiatus, but sorry not sorry. I had some things going on. Wanted to let the documentary breathe. Please go check that out. But today I want to talk about something that's a little bit near and dear. 50 Cent and his son. Now I know y'all probably like, near and dear. How's that near and dear to you? Well, I've experienced that, one, as the son, and two, as the father. Now, I don't have to go all in too deep, but wow, that sounded crazy. But for contextual purposes, I at one point had a very rough relationship with my father because my parents had split up for a while when I was younger. Then later on, as a father, when I got a divorce, me and my children had a very rough relationship for a period of time. So I was able to understand it from both sides in two different perspectives. Now what 50 Cent don't understand, and he treats his son like, he's some dude out on the street, that's because 50 Cent didn't grow up in a conventional household. Now people be like, well, he had his grandparents. Those were his grandparents. So psychologically, there was gonna be that separation. Yes, it was a male and a female in the house, but that's not my mama and my daddy. Mama passed on, streets raised him. So 50 Cent kind of grew up with this whole thing like he wanted to keep as much in control as he could because his life at an early age was out of his control. Who he lived with was out of control. The fact that he didn't know his father was out of control. The fact that his mother passed at an early age was out of control. That's too many out of control situations for him. So now in his adult life, he was like, I will never put myself willingly in positions that are out of control. I'd rather cut them off than to have to deal with the potential imbalance of chaos. Then it comes to his son. So for y'all that don't know what happened with him and his son, take a look at this.
He missed me at the graduation. Probably missed the car with no bow on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause there was no invitation given for me to actually attend. She's saying he's privy to the same information that I'm privy to. He could have called the school. Like, I'm call the school and asked when is the graduation. Like, if you wanted me to be there, they would have called for me to actually.
Did you want to be there?
Of course, I would have wanted to be there for that. You know, like it's an accomplishment. Like I tell them, my job is gonna make sure you're all right and everything. Y'all have everything.
Yeah.
And your job is to do good in school.
Now, that's very harsh for a father to have that kind of mindset towards his son. Sir, how do you have a whole person with blood, your blood running through his veins, and you don't have any kind of relationship? The fact that y'all don't have a relationship, sir, and I'm gonna put it out there, is because of you. You are trying to use your adult mind against a young man now who's using the memory bank of a child. So of course he don't know, it all don't make sense, it's all up in the air because he's using the memory of a 4, 5, 6, 7-year-old. And he's using the emotional connection that he has into his adulthood with the foundation of a child. So of course he's gonna act childish. Your connection with him became financial. Let me tell y'all like this. Every son looks at his father like he's Superman until he realizes that Superman can't fly. He wants to be just like him till he realizes how flawed. Now, some of us find out real early, i.e. Marquise. He found out as daddy, him and his mama broke up, so now he broke up and then he wanna treat him like he's a worker on the street. Homie, that's your son. If you notice, anytime something gets out of his control, Young Buck, The Game, Shy Money Excel, Floyd Mayweather, all his relationships with women, all his business fight, Jimmy Iovine, Dre, all of them. Soon as it gets a little bit out of control, he cuts it off till he's on an island. And the problem I have now is when you become a father and there's this discourse between you and your son, it is up to you as a father to go get your boy. I said it. You have to be the one to explain him. Look, man, I wanted to be a great daddy. I have no idea or had no idea how that worked. I can't go back and fix any of that. I learned from it. Therefore, what I learned, I got to apply to you and I as two men right now standing in front of each other. You might hate my guts, and you might hate my guts until one of us is in the ground. But as my son, as the one that I chose to bring into this world, it is my responsibility to make sure that we get this back right. But the fact that he could cut off his whole son, have a whole individual walking around this earth and not feel any compassion, that lack compassion. You posted up on Instagram that you don't deserve to be my son. Dude, you a whole, you know what? I'm trying to be right. I'm trying to be straight up. That is some of the most sucker business I've seen. And for somebody, it's one thing I realized about celebrities. Just because somebody does something exceptional does not make them or alleviate them from being a real person. Think about that. Think about all the celebrities that deleted themselves, and you'd be like, but you was rich and you was famous and you could sing and you could dance, you could do all that we forget that they real people. And sometimes when you look at people like him, you realize you a fragile little boy. I said it. 50 Cent is acting like that 9-year-old little boy arguing with his 7-year-old mentality son, and they two men, and they don't even realize that they basically the same person. But the difference is, you the daddy, get your boy. And you wonder why all these boys is running around here looking like suckers. It's because we got punk daddies like him. I said it. Violation. Now let me calm down. This is hot. I usually don't get this worked up, but it's somebody whose father is gone, and I don't have the opportunity to holler at my daddy. What now that we had got back right? Well, I used to call him and ask him advice. So my daddy told me before he passed, he said, "Man, consistency. They ain't gonna like you at first because of what all went on. But if you consistent and pure in your heart, they'll come around, and man, if he wasn't right. You know why he was right? Because he went and got his boy. And he told me, go get your boy. So I'm gonna pass on the same advice my daddy gave me. Mr. 50 Cent. But this is Late Night CJ. Like, comment, subscribe. I forgot. And maybe you should take this. You're stronger than you think you are. 100.